in roughly Glen Burnie, Maryland to Annapolis, Maryland. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you. Have a great day. Good chatting with you. And you're looking live at what I call the dog-powered go-kart. Have my 4 Huskies on here. Right now, that's Jag, that's Princess. On the right, she's actually 15 years old and still at the game. Zorro coming up on him. He's the dark one, the only one that's not white. The one that looks most like a husky. He's actually got more he's got Malamute in him, about 40%. You're looking at me right there, and I'm taking you down the trail with me live. So, kind of a cool setup. Come on, pretty. Pretty. Come on, good girl. So she gets a little tired. She wants you to slow up a little bit for her. Remember, she's 15. And I do this with her. Folks, the dogs are not pulling at all. So I know a lot of people say, why do you make your dogs pull? They're not pulling at all. We have pedals on this dog-powered go-kart, and I have electric motors. Actually, on this one, we've got 2, because this is 4-wheel drive. Now, you've never seen anything like this in the world. I'm quite certain of that. And certainly never seen anything live broadcasted like this on Facebook, except for when I do it. So my goal here is to give the dogs what they instinctually know how to do and love. These are Huskies, and that's run, walk, move, etc. I do this in a few different ways. If you follow me, you know I take them off leash to some of the farms that we have essentially leases with, where I'm allowed to run them off leash, and we run around. I'm on an ATV, they're running free. I take them on these bikes, dog-powered go-karts, for longer distance and different kinds of exercise. When they're off leash, they can run and move as they prefer. When they're on the bike, they have to go the pace of the bike, of course, and we don't go faster than the slowest dog, but we can focus a little bit on distance for endurance. And when they're off leash, you can go for more sprinting speeds. And of course, all of it appeals to the dogs because they love to run. When they're off leash, they can pick up on a scent and pretty much go to their heart's content. When they pick up on a scent here, they have to go in a straight line. So if an animal crosses a trail, a deer or whatever, we certainly wouldn't chase it no matter what. But just the scent is enough to entertain the dogs. So as long as that scent stays on the trail, it keeps a fire lit beneath them, and they rock and roll. But this is the real way to get distance, which these guys need, because they're built to constantly be going. And even this is kind of slow for them, but it's good for Princess right now. This is no more than a walking speed. I'm just trying to get her to get as many miles as she can in to keep her mobility. Remember, at 15 years old, she's got a lot of health-related issues that you would expect: arthritis, tight joints, and she gets stiff. But the more mobility she gets, the more she keeps her joints essentially lubricated, and she can enjoy life better. So once she has enough for the day, and she's a husky, so she doesn't always tell you right away. Sometimes she might just get bored with the whole thing at first, and then want to say, I've had enough, but she really hasn't. Sometimes she might want to overrun herself, which we need to look for signs of that. She usually doesn't, but because I've been doing this long enough, I know what to look for and need to put the brakes on her there. And sometimes she's just as happy as can be, going at the pace we're going and even picking up speeds. So it all depends, but once she goes up into her seat, her special seat, where she becomes an observer, then we can kick in the speed and get more of a rolling pace. Something like anywhere from 5-8 miles per hour, and sometimes peak out sprinting speeds up to 14-15 miles per hour. So once again, I'm the WooFDriver. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. The way we're broadcasting right now, I actually can't give out any shout outs. I apologize because I can't see them coming in, but I can go back into the different feeds and comment sections, whatever page you're watching this on of mine, and address it personally, or try to address your question, concern, comment, whatever, on a future broadcast. And if you know me, I'll be broadcasting a lot. I've actually got a page dedicated to my live broadcast, which is called WooFDriver Live on Facebook. So feel free to go right ahead and like that page, follow me there, and some of my more private broadcasts you'll still be notified and have access to, because I just did a preliminary broadcast when we got to the trail, setting up with the dogs, loading them up, etc. That was not on prime time, not featured on all the channels like this broadcast is. It was featured, but Facebook works in different ways, and they weren't letting everybody who subscribes know about it. When you subscribe directly to WooFDriver Live, you'll know about it. So you can see Princess going a little bit to her left. That means she wants me to slow up a little, which I do. And again, we're talking minimal speeds here, but enough to get her. We've already got in. What do we have in before, Jim? Almost 2 miles? So I would say now we might even have 2.5. And we look to get anywhere from 1 mile to 5 miles out of her, whatever she can handle. And then the boys pick it up from there, and they move at a better clip. What's really good about this is it kind of warms them up going a little slow to begin with. Come on, pretty. See, she's not really done yet. She's just, as soon as, and how I know that really is because when I slow up, she comes around. If I don't slow up, she'll stay back. But when I slow up, she comes around, which means she still wants to go some. So this is really, really good for her. You'll see, if you stay with us on this broadcast, how we water the dogs and give them a short break, which is usually too long for Chase, even though it's very short, because Chase, he's the dog. I'll show you in the camera. That's Zorro right there. I'll show you Chase as we come around. Chase is right here where I'm pointing. That's Chase. He's the most active husky I have, and if you stop for a minute, he's whining. People are like, what are you doing to that dog? I'm like, oh, he's just Chase. Huskies are talkative. If you know anything about them, you'll know they're pretty vocal animals, and he likes to talk. See, what's cool about Princess, she can go behind there and pace from behind, which is good. Now she's coming back around, which gives her more places to kind of rest herself and go at her own, go even slower. And I keep an eye on her back there. Good girl. Come on, pretty girl. Good girl. What a good girl you are. You're a good girl. And the camera's going over Jag right now, and that's Princess right next to him. So Princess and Jag are what we call wheel dogs. On a sled dog team, wheel dogs are usually closest to the sled. They're in the rear. And lead dog, or lead dogs, would be Zorro, who you're looking at now, and Chase as he comes around. And you can't quite see all the way up the trail as far as I can. The camera doesn't have that wide of an angle view, but it's a long straightaway. And there's a plane above. This is a pretty relatively close to BWI, Baltimore Washington International Airport. And this is kind of a residential trail. There are houses along the trail that I guess people use the trail here. So you just have to be cognizant for us of dogs, stray dogs that are off leash or can get out of their yard. And that's always a concern, as 4 dogs in a wolf pack, WOOF, formation as we are here, attracts other dogs. And not just for aggressiveness, just for curiosity. Dogs naturally want to be part of a pack, so they see this and want to run along with us, which is all fine and dandy, except for the dogs here are on leash, but they don't understand that, of course, and sometimes they want to get me. So I apologize if we're running through any turbulence with our broadcast. If it pauses, I think we should be able to maintain a pretty good signal, as we're in a pretty big metropolitan area, but you never know. Phones and cameras hiccup sometimes for no apparent reasons. So the trail's not very scenic, in the sense that some places we go are just really remote and gorgeous, but this trail, not so much, because again, it's more of an urban setting. So it's nice that it's here. And some people might be asking, well, why are you on blacktop? Why are you on a trail with blacktop? Depending on the conditions, I'm comfortable on most trail surfaces. The blacktop actually helps maintain their claw levels, or the level of their nails, And if you saw yesterday, we were doing a live broadcast of some of them getting groomed, where the groomer does address their claws once or twice a month, actually. And there are certain claws that, no matter how many miles you do, won't be affected, like the dew claw. So that needs to be manually cut by a groomer, by yourself, etc. But the blacktop also helps build callus on their pads and toughen them up for when we get to frozen trails that might be frozen mud or dirt or whatever, and it helps to build that, and even ice and snow when you run on that. So toughening their callus is important, and the blacktop, concrete, etc., hard surface does help promote that. Somebody there? People on the side waving to us. So hard surfaces are good for that. Now, work them on blacktop. I've never had any issues of their joints, what we call our knees, between their paws on the dogs. Any issues from that on blacktop, and I've run it many a times. I do like to varietize where we run, so I do look for dirt trails as well, crushed gravel, hard surface like blacktop, etc. But lately we've been more on blacktop and hard surface concrete trails because of the weather conditions. So the weather conditions, come on guys. So Princess was, nope, I thought we had a dog behind us, that's why I was, that's what it must have been, because everybody got a little focused on that. So I do like to varietize it, and certain trail surfaces, like when you're running on dirt, will hold the scent of other animals better naturally because it's more porous, whereas blacktop's not going to. So, and when I mean by other animals, I mean wild animals or even other dogs that have gone through the area. So it motivates the dogs a little more, and they actually can move a little quicker because they're excited. But on a hard surface trail like this, the dogs don't have to lift their paws up as high to navigate it, and the bike rolls easier, so it's smoother for them to run on, and Princess appreciates that. It's less work in that regard. So Zara's taking a little pit stop. He's just doing a little marking, and I'm going to let Princess mark it as well, because she seems to be interested in it. And good girl. Good girl. By giving them their time. Come on, guys. Remember, I'm doing this for them. Come on, guys. Princess. So I want to give them their time to enjoy when they want to stop sometimes. At the same time, I don't want to make it too... We don't want to do too many stops and get them out of a rhythm. There she goes. But this encourages them to go to the bathroom, as I think we said in the beginning of the broadcast, and I say it a lot, just like a human. The motion helps them tremendously. Good girl. Come on, pretty. She's clocking some miles today. She's doing really, really well. So anyone out there with huskies, that I know I get a lot of people ask me, well, what do I do because they're misbehaving or their activity level's really high? You certainly don't have to get anything as extensive as what I'm doing, but the way to do it, come on, pretty. So she'll want to go behind. Come on, good girl. Watch this. So she's slow down a little. She'll come back up. Sometimes you need to stop for a minute or two. Now, when it becomes that she needs a longer rest, good girl, come on. Come on, good girl. That's when we'll put her up in the chair. There she comes. What's this sign say, Jim?
Distance from the sun, 200,795,000.
What's it say?
Distance of Neptune from the sun.
Distance of Neptune. Oh, that's kind of random. So a lot of people will message me or try to contact me and say, hey, WooFDriver, I've got a really active husky getting in trouble, digging lots of holes in my backyard, escaping out of the yard, and being very ornery, pulling me over on leash, etc. And really what that husky needs is a little more activity, and you need to appeal to him instinctually. So what I mean by that is, come on, pretty. Good girl. Good girl. See her coming back up. It's a great way she communicates to me because I know what's up and she knows what's up. So what I mean by that is it's hard to have a game of fetch with a husky. They usually don't want to go and get the ball but once or twice maybe, and then they get bored with it. What they like to do, they're high prey driven dogs. They like to run and chase. So when they're in pursuit of what they think is prey, you're appealing to them instinctually. And when you can mimic that, of course you don't want them chasing a real animal, but when you can mimic that and create a competition like they would have in a wolf pack like their ancestors, that's when they're gonna get their energy out. Now, how we do that? Again, it's pretty easy with a husky. You just have to dedicate a little time with it. The easiest way to do it, believe it or not, is kind of like I'm doing it, but with a younger husky, and you'll see this when I put Princess up, they'll be moving at a much faster clip, would be to tether them safely to a bicycle, and for yourself or someone in your family to get out there and bike ride with them, because it's easier for you to bike ride to get mileage on than it would be to run with them. When they're moving at a fast clip, they smell other animals' scents. It's like they're prey, like they're chasing prey, and they roll. Now, a quick mile at a fast enough clip, of course, building up to that speed and making sure the husky's capable of doing it in his or her paws and pads. Yep, I see him, thank you. This is Pasadena Road if you're following us on Google Maps. You want to grab her, Jimmy, or you think?
I can't reach her, Jim.
Howdy.
Thank you.
How are you? Thank you.
It's the personality.
So, once, and you start, everything we do, we always start off slow. I mean, that's everything in life, till you learn it, till you get it down, and until your dog adapts to it well. So, and it's how I did it. I just got out on a bike. I found a safe attachment, because you can't just hold a leash and go with your dog. You'll kill yourself and your dog while you're at it. It's the worst thing you can do, in my opinion. What you do, there's a few devices out there. I use something called a Springer. There's probably a handful out on Amazon and pet specialty places where you can get a attachment that can safely hook to your dog, and your dog can be on the side of your bicycle like the dogs are on the side here, and you can go at a speed that's comfortable for your dog and yourself, and you can build up to it. Now, this is kind of cool. We're coming up on a cool bridge. I'm just reading a sign here. This is Pasadena Station, Baltimore Annapolis Trail Park. Visitor ethics. So, imagine your dog on the side of a bike and it sees a squirrel. That'll be of concern.
8 mile marker.
Great, thank you, Jim. We're at the 8 mile marker. Come on, Chase. So the 8 mile marker means that we've got in how far, Jim?
2.5 and north.
3.
2 and 3/4.
8, 9, 10. Yep, 2 3/4 miles. So, if you see a squirrel or you see an animal and your dog's on the side of the bike, because of these devices, when they're designed properly, usually they mount under your seat. Come on, pretty. Come on, pretty. Come on, good girl. Come on, good girl.
Check behind you, please.
Nobody's coming. Thanks. Thank you. Good girl. Usually they'll mount under your seat, and therefore your weight is over top of them. It'll take all the pull out of it. Therefore, when a dog lunges, because these devices are designed for that, the spring will protect the dog, and where it's mounted will protect you from falling over. Come on, pretty. Good girl. Good girl. So I'm just going to stop for a second. So, using this theory, you can essentially run, I've done 4 dogs, 2 on each side of a bicycle. I'm looking behind me, Jim, there's nobody.
I just went for because we're getting into some closure.
What's that?
Because we're getting in this narrow trail.
Yep, we got to be careful. So Jim is letting me know we're getting near of a kind of a narrow, tight spot. We're getting ready to go on this cool looking bridge. And with that, I want to be careful and cognizant of other trail traffic. If somebody's coming across, which they are, I'm going to move over to my right. Come on, guys. G. So I'm just going to move over, Jim, and rest for a second and talk to the folks at home.
Somebody walking with a bicycle.
Yep.
Nice. Bicycle.
Can you pull her in?
I can reach her, you think?
Yep, you might have to get off the bike.
Hop.
So someone's coming through this tight area we're just talking about. We just want to make sure give them plenty of courtesy and distance. How are you? Thank you. Great, thanks, Jim.
Can we walk up the hill?
No, I think you're good here. So you can run multiple dogs in that capacity, but if you just have one, it'd be great. And in that way, like we're running the dogs here, you can run almost any kind of dog. Even we have a Chinese crested at home that's about 13 pounds. I run her on the bike because, again, they don't have to pull. So it's really pretty cool. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm also filming this as we go. So we're taking a break so I could talk to you a little bit. We could let the guy pass, and we could give Princess a little break. And we're going to go. Come on, guys. Hike. Ready, Jim?
Wait.
Hike. Come on. So we're going up a little bit of a hill. And just a 2-minute break was good for Princess. I'm going to get her a little further distance. Again, we shoot anywhere for 1 mile to 5 miles with her. Right now, she's closing in on 3 miles without a rest up in her seat. We have had one water break. Usually we do a water break anywhere from the first mile to as many as 5 miles, depending on the weather conditions. And usually from there on out, every 3 to 5 miles. So that's a cool bridge, and you're going to get to see it as we cross over what looks like East-West Boulevard, in case you're following us on Google Maps. Coming up on the bridge now, folks. And I'm using motor here. Come on, guys. This is how cool is this? So you're looking over a highway, East-West Highway to be specific, as I just said. And notice how the dogs are really comfortable with it. Now they can see over because this is a chain link fence. And what happens with that is sometimes they can get a little freaked. I've had it happen. But there's enough room here that they're not in any way intimidated by it. But that's all confidence building too. You do it enough and they have enough good experiences and you praise them. They know it's the right thing and they feel good. Jim, little break.
Little break?
Yep, there you go. I'm going to let him use his rear brake because it's less noisy, so I can talk to everybody here. So, because we're coming down the hill that we just went up on the other side. And as you see, Princess, that's her, doing great now. And just that little break got her another, quarter mile or so. And maybe she'll keep going even further. Great, Jim. Keep it like you got it. His brakes aren't as squeaky as mine. So we have to sometimes change brake pads more often depending on the weather conditions. The brakes get a lot of dust on them from dirt on the trails, from the conditions, as well as rain. We get wet a lot as we go through puddles. So that's why he's got a set of brakes and I have a set of brakes. So the rear guy in the rear, it's Princess. She's sniffing, which is good. Love to see the dogs engaged, getting excited, motivated on their own, sniffing the area. So I was talking about these different attachments. So if you got an unruly husky and you take him out and you get the proper bike attachment and you do a mile with him, half a mile even, you start with it. And you build him up a little bit till he's comfortable with a mile and you can start doing some sprinting speeds. Won't take long, week and a half, something like that. he gets in a groove, you'll be getting his energy out of him. The only thing, and I guarantee you he will come home and sleep, is you'll have to, what's that?
No break them off.
Okay, thank you. You'll have to do more miles. Now, again, it's something you can do in your neighborhood. That's how I do a lot of my work when I train the dogs, and when we have inclement conditions where I can't get out for some reason, I'll work them in the neighborhood. And
Have a good kid.
there's a lot of places.
Watch it. Somebody on the other side.
He's turning. Coming up on somebody doing some work on the trail. It's like a local neighbor.
Hello there.
Howdy. So you'd be amazed though, because my first time when I had my first husky, I didn't understand any of this. And huskies are one of the most abandoned breeds, meaning people get them because they're beautiful, and they're also pretty popular in shows like Game of Thrones, etc. Come on, guys. And they'll get the husky, and when the husky becomes unruly, like they do, they put them up for adoption, or they take them to a shelter. They abandon them, essentially. A lot of other breeds are a lot easier to manage and maintain. But for an active guy like myself, and for someone that sometimes I like to be motivated, I'm motivated by my dogs in their own way. So they're the perfect breed for me. Come on, guys. Come on, good girl. Good girl, good girl. See how I just work with Princess? And again, she's clocking the miles. Now, she likes getting on the grass there, and I'm going to let her get on the grass because, again, it holds the scent better than the blacktop. That's why they'll start marking it, but I'm okay with that. She's definitely marking it. Okay, come on, guys. Come on, good boys. So as you do that with your husky, a tired dog is a good dog. You'll tire him right out. Come on, prettiness. Come on, pretty. She's probably almost done, but she'll fake you out sometimes, so you want to make sure. Come on, good girl. And I'm going to show you how I put her up. Okay, so now it's time. She's still coming around, but what's that, about 3 miles on it?
Yep.
Let me check my watch. 3.12. Good girl. So, as the camera follows me, good girl. So she gets excited there, but we're going to put her up in the truck. Up in her specialized seat, and you're going to get to see how I do that. I'm going to wait for the camera to turn, and I'll talk a little bit. So now we're going to be able to make a quicker clip, and you'll see what it might look like if without an older dog on there. Maybe you have a puppy or a younger husky, and you want to burn them up a little bit. You can put some miles on them. If you do have a senior dog, it's a great way of doing it too. Now, they'd have to build up to it more than a younger dog, but you can teach them to use the bike. The more active we can be with our dogs, the better they can be. So let me show you. I unclip her here, and hopefully, actually, I can control that as the comes around. I'm going to do it one more time. I forgot I can control the camera pan by using the app. What a great invention, right? Okay, I'm going to do it as it comes around here. So it's coming around now. And I'm going to show you how I pick her up. So great. So I'm going to pick Princess up. See how the handle on her harness helps. I put my hand under her, and I put her right in her seat. Good girl. Always lots of praise. Good girl. Good girl. Going to help her sit down because she's still in that active mode where she wants to run, or she wants to be on her all 4 feet. But I'm gonna promote her to sit, because once she sits, she'll relax. And I hook these seat hooks, if you will. Let me see if I can get a better. Hook these on her harness, and that'll keep her safe. And there's 3 of them. And if you can see from there, the yellow towels wrapped around it. As you watch this, she'll move back and forth. She wants to see the left, see the right, and she'll actually wear these into her fur a little bit, and they can irritate her, so that's why we put padding around them. And I'm going to let the camera spin, show you a whole view of this again. By the way, I know I look funny with my helmet on if you see me, so don't make fun of me. Trying to get Jaggy's camera. I think it's good. Hi, boys. So now, folks, you're in for a treat. We're going to kick it up a little bit. Ready, Jimmy?
Ready.
Okay. Here we go. Brakes off. Come on, guys. Hike. So we're going to throw some speed at them. We're going to start clocking some miles. Now you see Princess riding in her special seat. She's happy. She can lay down in there if she wants, or she can just totally stay standing up, and she'll start bouncing probably from side to side, which is good. She's curious. Curiosity is what we want. That keeps them motivated, keeps them active. So right now we're moving at almost 6 miles per hour. And this is what these guys need to pick their pace up. And you'll see Jag. Jag's always, he's not a big puller. So there's some Huskies. I remember somebody called me about giving me a Husky. They said he's just not a sled dog. They were sledding people, more professional than what. Again, I'm just doing this for recreation, for the dog's health and for our adventures. But there obviously is people that do this for racing and competition, which I don't. But they called me because they have a Husky that's not a puller. It just doesn't want to pull. So I couldn't take any more Huskies than I have now or had at the time. But Jag's a little bit like that too. He's doesn't like pulling unless he's motivated. He's a little more of a couch potato. But exercise is important to all of us and important to our animals as well. So keeping them going is what it's about. So that's why he gets out here and does this. His favorite activity is free ranging. But even then, he'll do a few miles and be like, all right, let's get back to the truck, Dad. So now we're at better than 6 miles per hour. And we'll sustain this usually for 1 mile or 2 miles. Then I'll slow him a little bit down to maybe 5, not a lot. And another mile or 2 like that, and then give them a little water, depending on the conditions and how they're running. I'm just giving you a general, how I do it, general line. 7.5. What's that, Jimmy? No, 7.5 we just passed. So Princess did, yeah, like I said, 3.10. So I gotta put my gloves on because we're going at a better speed, which is, I'm feeling it. What's the temperature out here, buddy? Was it that warm? Wow. So I'm just maneuvering here as I put the gloves on. Here we go. Faster you go, the windier it gets. 47? I think it's cooler than that. Feels like it's in the low 40s. I mean, maybe because the wind, maybe because we're moving at a good clip. Well, yeah, that's the wind effect. Jason Zorro, love the speed. Now, Jag's got smaller legs. The camera's going to Jag now. So at some point, if I go a little fast, the horse start galloping, which is fine for him. But that wears his pads a little more because instead of this kind of motion where you bounce, he'll be up and down more. So, but that's again why we toughen their pads. It's fine for him physically. It just does wear on the pads a little because of his build, his smaller stature. Or shorter size, I should say. How cool is this, though? It's great, and we'll knock this next miles out and probably, what do we got to go, 7.5, hour and a half?
Yeah. An hour and a half at this speed.
At the speed, an hour and a half. Now, before the end of the trail, depending on if we do finish it, where everybody seems like we're going to finish it now, will be whether I put Princess down or not. I probably will. It's always good if we can finish her out. No matter what, when we get back to our final destination, I'll at least put her down for even if it's for 30 seconds on the ground to just feel like she finished it out for herself. In case she has to, do a pit stop or anything. I do, thank you. Looks like we got a road coming up.
Yep.
So I got someone coming at me. The road, there's a road up ahead. The trail here is kind of wide, so I'm going to let the dogs go over a little to the right as I yield to this person. Now remember, the dynamics change a little when Princess is up because it becomes heavier, the dog cart. Come on, guys. Howdy, how are you? Have a great day. So people always get a kick out of seeing us. Again, it's kind of an anomaly seeing two guys with 4 dogs, and especially you got one sitting up in the seat, another passenger. Be like, what is that? But we're rocking and rolling here. I hope everybody that's watching us, you're enjoying it. We're getting to a road. I'll get you the name of the road again in case you're following us on Google Maps. If you're in the area, wherever we're at, we travel all over the East Coast. Love to see you stop by and check out what we're doing in person, meet the dogs. The dogs are extremely friendly, and they love attention. They're huskies. Okay, so this is Early Heights Road, it looks like. Yes, it is. But yep. Looks like we got it, though. So we just crossed that road without stopping. It helps out if you, again, keep the dogs pace. They got a good pace going. Stop and start. Though it's easy, it's just more work on everybody. This says there's some trail renovation. It doesn't give a date. Oh, it does, but it's faded. What's the sign behind us? Well, same thing. So if you can see, this is just dead ahead, wide open trail. You hear a dog on the porch. Always staying cognizant of other animals because we're a target, essentially, especially for dogs. I mean, other animals usually want to scoot away from us, but dogs are interested in what we're doing because we attract them, because they want to be part of it. Dogs are pack oriented. They see a pack of 4 dogs and like, hey, can I join in? We've had it happen before too. I've had a small dog on one occasion just totally start running with us. I've had big dogs come up to us, and usually we'll usually stop or try to outrun them because you never know the aggressive level of somebody else's dogs. I know my dogs, but my dogs are restrained, so they feel a little vulnerable, and that can change the dynamics of a situation too. So lots to consider there. Really knowing how to read canine body language is important, and that's one of my strong suits. A lot of trail signs right now telling you pass on left, always wear a helmet, speed limits 15 miles per hour, etc. Coming to a area with less shoulder. Okay, you think I'm okay to enter?
Yeah.
Because when you get to areas that are fenced like this, of course it makes your gives you less room, less tolerance for a shoulder. Okay, so this room, we're wide for someone to pass us. That's why I always like to ask my co-pilot's opinion. Sometimes we need to stop and make sure. He's really running. He's sprinting, dude. So what I'll do. Howdy. 6 miles, 6.75. He was a young kid, wasn't he, Jim?
Yeah.
Booking too. Yeah, so that's a 6.75 mile marker. This trail has unusual mile markers. Sometimes they do 3/4 mile markers, half mile markers. Sometimes I don't think we saw a mile marker in 2 miles. Yeah, really nice houses to our left and to our right. So you're looking at Chase. He's got the orange harness on right now. Jag's behind him with the blue harness. Jag's arm on the bike is a little different than the others. Give him more room back there. And that's Princess in the seat. Coming around on Zorro with the blue harness. Great day out here on the trail. We're clocking mileage. Roughly now we've got in about 4.5, 5 miles. The miles start flying when Princess is up because we can move at a faster clip because the dogs, look at that little walkway there, that's cool. Got a walker, but I've got more shoulder space, so not a problem. But sometimes you get young kids and everything and you just have to stop. We do on the bike. Plenty of room, Jim? Come on, Chase. Howdy. I see him. I was just getting away from that mile marker, from that stake in the ground, whatever that thing was. Howdy, howdy. Yeah, man. Put some mileage on the boys. Again, moving at roughly 5.5, 6 miles per hour right now. Trail looks clear ahead and clear behind. I do have a rear view mirror, of course. That's always helpful. And I've got 2 mirrors on the one side, so I can usually keep extra attention to Princess when she's down. Cameras look good, Jim. How many you see? You see the one? Is the one still underneath there? So wait a minute, you see 2 on your side, 1 on Jag?
Yep, 1 on Jag, 1 on bar.
The white bar?
Yep.
Low down? Okay, cool. Yeah, we are always trying to get unique angles so we can really give you a bird's eye view. Yeah, I see them, thank you. So that's why it's great where you see it like you do now live, but if you go back on my videos, you'll see all kinds of unique angles we were able to capture. and some spectacular shots. Howdy. I see him, thank you. Right now we're a little limited because not many cameras will broadcast live like this and give me the capabilities of having a remote feed to speak from. So I'm not giving you as wide a view as I'd like to. Howdy, howdy. How's it going, huh? Another mile marker here. Keep the folks at home updated where we're at. This is mile marker number. What's that, Jimmy? 625. Is it? Yeah, I see it, Jim. It's sturdy. Yeah, man. Ready to cross the street up here. The camera comes back to Jag. I don't know if we'll catch him. I don't know if you caught him in his bounce mode. How we look? Good to the left. Good. Yeah, he's. Oh yeah. That's a dog. Yeah. It's a poodle, yep. Howdy, howdy. Yep, usually when we pass a dog that's well behaved, the dog, oh, my dogs are well behaved. 6 miles. We're knocking miles off like it's our job. So the quicker pace works my younger dogs. I'm calling them younger, they're still not young, but they're certainly still young enough to give it their all. Keep a pretty good pace. Get some Jags in this full-blown sprint mode. He's bouncing. Here he comes. Now he's coming up. This is kind of the unique dynamic. Jag's going to come up and chase. That's why he's on that longer lead. And he smells something ahead. You check to the right, Jim. I'm good to my left. Sometimes they'll mistake a jogger at first because their eyes are trained to see motion. So they'll mistake a jogger for a possible animal. Of course, when they get a scent, they realize it's not. But sometimes the wind can be blowing in another direction, so the visual is enough to keep them entertained for a while. Howdy. And what I mean by that is they'll keep them moving at a quicker pace when they see movement ahead, whether it's a jogger or a walker or a bike rider, etc. That's why Jag. I don't think the camera was warm enough. He was really getting in Chase's lane at that point. So this is a good run for them today. Hope to finish out around 11 miles. We've got almost half of that done now. Princess has a little better than 3. Some Jags in Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Thank you. Gentleman saw us before, so he was yielding, and I appreciated it. There was enough room for him, but he was just keeping a good pace, keeping a good distance. And we always yield to everybody. We're just, I realize we're a little wide, so we'll always give anybody or any animals we see we yield to them, give them the right of way. Coming up to a busy road, I see listen soon. Usually the technology's advanced enough. Really? This is the first? We got a crossing guard. What do they want us to do, Jimmy? Oh. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm sorry, but thank you for stopping traffic. Thank you, young man. Have a great day.
Walker's coming at you.
Was he good? Is he? I'll give him some water. Okay, Jaggy. Here's some. Yep. He'll. Okay, Mr. Jag. Want to give him some water, Jimmy?
Yep. I gotta watch it start to roll back.
Come here, Jaggy. Sometimes Jaggy, he hears the wheel and he's like, "Oh no, the wheel's going." Hi, good boys. Okay. So what we're going to do now is give him a water break. And see, Princess doesn't look like she's ready to get down yet. Now you can see me with the wild helmet, folks. Everybody's happy. Now we did about 2.5 miles at a quick clip. So, excuse me, they built up a little thirst, if you will. When we go slow, they're usually not as thirsty. They usually can go for more miles. I usually stop to give them water when we first start. Oh, like I said, the first 3 to 5 miles. Actually, the first 1 to 5 miles when we first start, because that's more of a rest time for Princess too. More of just getting into the trail. Okay, guys. So what happens with Jag sometimes, because just this has happened as we go at slower speeds, he becomes more cognizant of the bike, and he'll hear the sounds and they scare him. Nothing's ever happened to him, but that's why he'll drop back, so to build confidence in him and reinforce it a lot. And we go slow because of Princess, but when he starts going fast, he gets over that real quick. But that's why there's a variance in where he'll be on the bike, up or down. Thank you very much.
The dogs pull you like a MUSHing?
Yeah, a little bit of they pull us, we pedal them sometimes. It all depends on what's going on.
And then you get to sit.
Yeah, she's the eldest, so she gets a little exercise in, and then she takes a seat.
Oh my gosh, what's that on the top?
Camera. We film everything and put on YouTube and that kind of stuff.
Okay, sorry to try.
No, not at all, not at all. That's, what's that?
Can I pet her?
Oh, sure. Yeah, they're all really nice. Pig. She wanted to get a picture.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
This is great. Nice.
Thank you.
Have a nice weekend.
Nice. You too. Thank you. What's she saying down there, Jim?
She'd love to take a picture.
Oh. She what?
I think she got your highlight.
Quite a crew you have there.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a great day. Thanks. Oh, I could change some batteries here, Jim. So folks, you're with us. This is a little bit more behind the scenes that you don't see usually in our videos, but we see a lot of people, and people are usually very nice, and it's just lots of fun to talk with them and chat with them and let them know what we're doing and all that good stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change some batteries because, as I said, good girl, aren't you the best? I like to film this in all kinds of formats. So I can, yes, I'm good, thank you. Okay, good boy, we're gonna go. So that's Chase starting to whine. Hey Jim, when you can you put that back? That's Chase starting to whine because he wants to go. So what I'll do is use a lot of different kinds of cameras. Where I'm tending now, if you can see it, these are GoPro Fusions, which are GoPro 360 cameras, and they enable us to pretty much take a 360 view and standardize it to a regular view. Jim, I got to open that one more time. I'm sorry, bud.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't do much. You got the scooper there too.
Where is it?
On the side.
On the side?
I'll give it to you one sec. Hi, good girl. So you can actually go to my WooFDriver YouTube channel and check out a lot of this and see it in 360, even 3D. I filmed before, all kinds of formats, and it just makes it for a true immersive experience for everybody watching.
Bicycle skimming at you.
Do they got enough room?
Children walk.
Okay. Watch your kids, Jimmy. Watch your kids with Zorro. Do I need to move over more?
Hi there. He's nice. He's nice. Name is Zara.
Hello?
Just say hi, Zara.
Oh my gosh. Yeah?
You like him, huh?
He's cool, isn't
He's a big dog, isn't
Wow.
he?
Johnny?
he? Big dog, isn't he?
Are you big? Are you big or what?
He's big, isn't he?
You're so cute.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Hey, hey, hey.
Can I say to your dog?
Yeah, sure. They want to go. That's why they're doing that.
Are they learning to do
No, just exercising. They've done it a lot. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they love running. See the old girl in the chair? Yeah, she's old, so she comes down and does a little bit, and then we put her up there so she can relax.
His name is Zara. He's very nice.
Very nice.
That's Chase.
Yes, you can pet him, sure. Good boy, Chase. Good boy.
One of my college roommates lives in Alaska. And she
Oh, really?
She has all rescues, but they have a huge sled dog team. She
Oh.
has 17 dogs.
Wow, wow. Wow, yeah, they're usually big like that.
Yeah.
This is just like a mini team.
Ruby.
The reason we have one ride is because she's the senior of the class.
So this is Chase?
This is Chase. Yeah, you.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
They love them. Good boy, JC.
That's a lot of vacuuming.
A lot of acumen.
Big wolf. Big wolf.
He looks like a wolf, doesn't he? I call him Wolf, W-O-O-F. That's Jag. He loves the attention. Yeah, they were just groomed too, so they're extra soft now.
He's silly, isn't he?
Good boy, Jaggy. Luckily, they're good. I know, but it's yeah, exactly, yeah.
He's not so bad about his front. When you get near his back, he's just funny.
Well,
Real funny.
not like this, like when we groom them and stuff.
I don't know. Something about him. He is something about him.
She's the eldest, yeah.
Now tell me about this contraption.
It's kind of like a dog sled on wheels, if you will. So we made it. I have a couple different variations of it just to give them exercise. So because usually we don't get snow, and doing it with snow and 4 dogs is hard anyway. It'd be more physical for me. So this is a little more my speed because it's rolling and it's easy, and we could do it all year long as the temperatures cooperate, and as long as we can go at a pace for the dogs that they're comfortable and water them enough and give them access to water in the warmer months, like getting to a river or stream or whatever. That really helps out because they emit heat through their pads, so that helps a lot too.
How did you get into this?
I got my first husky years ago, probably almost 25 years ago, and I knew nothing about them, and they needed exercise. They were just like, so we had to find an outlet. So I put him on a bike, started going. I said, wait a minute, this is fun. He needs a friend, and was able to get him a friend, and the family grew from there.
Well, thank you so much for
Sure.
the lesson.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great talking to everybody. She loves them.
He loves him.
Good job taking such good care of them.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, she loves Huskies her favorite.
Yeah. Oh, they're great. They're like wolves. They are. They look like them, and they're loyal like that. What's that? They're closest breed to the wolf, they say. So, yep.
I keep trying to get them to read White Fang with me or Call of the Wild.
There you go.
Every time we started, they're like, "Oh, it's too many big words. We're not ready."
That's
Okay, we'll get there though. It's waiting.
That's right.
For you. Right of childhood.
He wants to go. That's why he's whining.
Come on, guys. Let's let him in there.
Bye. Good seeing you. Have a great day. Thank you. Great talking to you. Thank you. Bye-bye now. Okay, guys.
Okay, Jagabone.
Ready?
Good man. Brakes roll.
Brakes off, buddy. Okay, come on, guys.
Okay.
Oh,
Probably not on, are you?
something. No, error 4. Oh, something's wrong. I think I turned the wrong motor on. We ready, guys?
Okay, man.
Come on, hike.
Let's go.
So, folks, got an extra treat there. I was able to still broadcast that. We were ran into a whole group of people, and they were loving it, loving the dogs and loving the view and all that good stuff. Is that hey, Jim, turn around once. Is that the same people coming back, or?
Turn all the way around. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I think they're walking away.
I think they stopped talking apart.
Oh, that's what they did. So it's wonderful that the dogs are friendly like they are and can. Come on, Jack. Can they're so lovable, basically. Excuse me 1 second, folks. I have to take this call. Hey, Sid, I'm on a live broadcast. Do you need me? Okay, bye-bye. Sorry, folks. This is live. so it's unedited, so no telling what you'll see or hear. All good stuff, of course. You're with the WooFDriver. But it's great when the dogs can meet people. Come on, Jag. Come on, Jag. Come on, Jag. Jag's being Jag. Because it's making noise. Come on, Jag. So sometimes he's comforted by just taking it a little faster. Come on, good boy. Come on, good boy. Good boy, Jag. Good boy, Jag. You got to get him into a groove. Now he's hearing some clicking from the bike, and he's just sensitive to it. It doesn't mean anything, and he's never had a bad experience, and I pride myself on that. But it's just Jag. He's funny with it. So you got to, again, learn your dogs, know how to work with them in different capacities to understand tone of voice. Yes, they understand words. They can be taught to understand words, but it's more of the tone that the words said in. On leash? Okay. Little dog on a leash. Jim is advising me. No problem. As you see, we deal with everything. But thank you so much. People, they want pictures of what we're doing. Howdy. We got room for one more. Have a great day. Come on, Zoro. 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 Come on, good boy. Come on, Zoro. He thinks it's Gigi from home. Howdy, thank you. This trail's got a little traffic on it. Yep. Howdy. Hi, how are you?
Are they pulling you?
They're a little bit of both. Thank you. Have a great day. That's why they got a crossing guard. Come on, Jake. Huh. Oh, Zara. I saw that he didn't see that post. That's why that's why I called him. Was that a dog? Did you see that dog? There was a dog. That's what he was looking at. So the dogs will get distracted sometimes, and sometimes when you're dog driving, wolf driving, you need to pay attention for them. Yep. Howdy. Howdy. Let them go through. You think you need to get off, or you think we're fine? Come on, guys. Okay, thank you. Watch, check. Come on, come on. He good? Thank you. So the dogs were really interested in that post, and people were giving us the right of way across the street. Oh, I see. Yep. That guy's gonna stand right in the middle. Thank you. Come on, guys. Thanks very much. Howdy, howdy. Thank you. Did you? How close was Zara to them? Come on, Jack. Yep. I'm not going. You think? Come on, Jack. Whoa. Jack. Yep, the noise. Okay. Yep, it's okay, buddy. Come on, Jaggy. Got the brake?
Yep.
Good boy. You good boy?
You scared him, whatever that noise.
I hope his collar's. Yep, still one. Good boy. All good, buddy. All good. Do I need to change a? Let me see. Something's wrong here. Ooh, that was some trafficked area, wasn't it, Jim?
No, kids getting off school.
It's okay, Chase. So folks, I'm just refixing the cameras here. We went through a little bit of traffic. It's all good though. Everything worked out well. That says I need another battery. That's interesting.
You get in there all right?
Chasey wants to go, but I'm...
You want me to help you?
No, I think I'm good. Chase? See, we carry the scooper with us so we can take care of the dog's pit stops. Okay. Okay, buddy.
Enough room?
Yep. How we look ahead?
Yep, perfect. Nobody coming at us. Can't go behind us. Nobody's coming at us.
Okay, Chase. He wants to go. Remote battery. Okay, Chase. We're gonna go in 1 sec. That's good, Jimmy. Okay. Okay, folks, and here we go. Come on, guys, hike. So that's why the dogs need to be well trained as they are. As you see, we can get through some tumultuous situations and mingling with other people, other dogs. So it's so important for the dogs to be confident in themselves to make it through and well behaved enough not to let trail traffic intimidate them, because when a dog gets intimidated, sometimes can become aggressive. Now, my dogs are notorious for not being aggressive at all, but if you go to the weakest link, which would be Jag, he can get shy away a little bit. So it won't cause aggression to something like this. It'll just cause him to slow down and be a little harder to manage. But we're doing great. Haven't seen a mile marker lately. Have you, Jimmy? Okay, so we're we're more than halfway through this trail, and looks like we got wide open lane up here. If you happen to catch us before, look at Jag. See, that's the difference when he's got a wide open area and there's not a lot of commotion. He airs it out, and that's what he's doing right now. But when we my dogs are 100% foolproof. They're just loving. You can cuddle with them. You can do anything to them. But for other dogs, the mother was saying, hey, you should never put your face to them, and that's true. It's tough to teach a kid. They need to rely on the adult to tell them. I didn't want to scare them and say don't do that because I wanted them to be comfortable around the dogs. But that's one thing kids need to learn and parents need to teach them. Trail bait. Never saw something like that before. Cool part of the trail, it's getting away from the, I guess, congestion. We were near what looked like an elementary school, hence the young kids. So we're kicking up a little bit of water. We're going through some puddles. We're getting ready to come through a narrow area in the sense that there's fencing on both sides from what I can see from here. Again, I'm just trying to keep you advised. I know you can't take in the whole trail. Occasionally in the past, broadcast in 360. So you can actually see the whole trail as you can move the camera around, but haven't been able to do that lately. I hope to do that in the future. It's easy, guys. So I'm gonna stop for a second because someone's coming by and there's too much trash on the right. Thank you. Mush. Come on, guys, hike. There's branches and stuff the dogs would have had to go through, so I simply pulled over for them. The trail narrows here as there's a bridge, and this is called Round Bay Road, again in case you're tracking us on Google Maps. So kind of a not too rickety, it doesn't look like too old of a bridge, but it looked a little weathered in some areas. Usually we're not going to have any issues, but we're still lightweight compared to what most of these bridges are built for, but always just keeping an eye on things, as a good wolf driver would do. So you're viewing Jag now, he's in his gallop mode, and you're viewing Princess, she's in her seat. I'll get you up to date on the next mile marker as it comes by. Is that an old traffic light, Jim? Yeah, that's pretty wild. What's that, Jimmy? Yeah. Jim is sarcastically saying poverty area because, again, we're coming into some big houses. Looks like a nice area. And we have to be cognizant. Sometimes there's some areas that can be a little on the rougher side, a little seedy. So we always have to be as cautious as possible. Again, we're limited to how fast we can move because of the dogs. So we just practice good safety measures. Look at Jag. He's in the blue harness behind Chase. What's that? Oh yeah, he's happy. Yeah, he's happy when he's not in all the congestion, and he liked getting all the loving from the kids. Oh, they were all in love. Round Bay Station. We're kicking up some water there. Walker up here. Yep, I do. Thank you. G over. Come on, Chase. Hello. Mile marker here. What's this, Jim? 4, geez. We're pretty far along now. So it's kind of cool. We could broadcast almost the whole way as of now. And I don't know if you're just tuning in or you've been with me through this whole adventure today. But we're on the Baltimore Annapolis Trail, which started approximately in Glen Burnie, Maryland, and it goes to Annapolis, Maryland, I believe. We've got in roughly now, we started at about the 11-mile marker, not quite 11 miles, and we've got in, we just crossed the 4, so roughly 7 miles. What's that? Not on the trail. What I do if you just, there he is, he's in the back. Yep. Hey buddy. Yep. Hear a dog on the other side of the fence. If you're just tuning in, you haven't seen me before, there's a dog on the fence to my left where Zara is looking. I adventure all over the East Coast with my pack of Huskies. I've got 4 of them, ranging in age from 9 to 15. Princess is 15. She's the only female, the eldest of the pack. She's in the seat that you see behind Jim, who's my co-pilot, right there. And the other Huskies are anywhere from 9 to 10 years old. They're all males. Howdy, thank you. So we do adventures from riding on trails like this, which I call fur wheeling, in a specialized dog-powered go-kart, to bike's just making some noise, so I'm checking it. Jag's backing off a little bit because of that noise. It'll be fine now. To running off leash, which I call free ranging, on different farm areas that we travel to. Oh, sorry. Someone's behind me. Sorry about that. To another sport called lure coursing, which is a canine sport. Jimmy, check me. Clear?
Okay, good. Good. Keep going, John. Keep going.
Oh, it's a little dicey sometimes crossing these roads because of the angles we get on. You can't always see behind you or to the side. So Jim looks one way and I look the other. In heavy traffic, Jim will get off the bike and even stop it if necessary. But as I was saying, I do sports, another canine sport called lure coursing, which is actually a sport designed for sight hounds. And it's pretty interesting because it's basically a toy or a flag that travels on a string on a course, usually 3 to 5 acres. And the dogs chase it. Now, sight hounds hunt with their sight. Obviously, that's why they're called sight hounds. Whereas all other breeds hunt with their scent, their nose. So the sight of the lure traveling on this course entices them to chase it like prey. 3.5 miles, just like that. We knocked at a half mile. And when they chase it, usually they'll do a lap or two, which could be anywhere, just to give you an idea, 1/4 to a half a mile even. And they usually are done. They'll do maybe a couple laps throughout the day, is my understanding. But with Huskies, because their endurance level is so high, they can run this thing all day long. So I have our own private course I've set up. And I take my dogs. Now, obviously, how I... Yep.
Looking out, boys. Look out. Stop, please.
Good?
Go ahead.
Thank you. crossing the street here. Yeah, well, I wasn't letting her. I was stopping. So I had to redesign what I call now lure coursing to the amazing chase. If you get a chance, go on Google and type lure coursing and then type amazing, not amazing, but amazing, M-A-Z-I-N-G, or go to WooFDriver.com and I explain it in full, or at least better than I am here. But what's important is people, again, they'll call me, talk to me, contact me and tell me they have unruly huskies, and it's always the same answer. They need activity. And I was just explaining how you can take almost any husky and put them safely with the right setup on the side of a bike. Thank you. And let them run with you. Let them run while you cycle and really burn them up pretty good. Get that, purge their energy, which will make them 100% better dog. Then, when you start finding other things that appeal to them, they're very prey driven. Lure coursing's a little more challenging because, again, it's a visual kind of activity and they don't have vision like sighthounds do. Howdy. But some huskies, especially two of mine, Princess and Zorro, take to it really well. And there's places you can go. You don't have to necessarily set up your own course. Good boy, Jaggy. But I know there's certain states where there's private courses. They're almost like batting cages, where you can get in there and you can do lure coursing with your dogs for maybe a half hour for $10 or something. Now they're few and far between, but I'm going back a few years ago. They hopefully have expanded and they're more localized, so more people can get access to them. Really cool. Please look it up on the internet. You'll get some cool ideas. And if you happen to have a lot of land, you can set up your own lure course for your own dogs. It's not too terribly expensive to get involved. If you have huskies, though, we had to custom make the equipment because I bought some leading edge equipment and it still wasn't rated for a husky in the sense that the huskies could run more than it could give out. It would overheat the machine and I'd have to rest it. When you have a sighthound that's doing a lap or two, the machine does great. But when you start doing 50 laps, I've had Zorro get literally 17 miles one day of just chasing the flag. So the machine didn't overheat because we rebuilt our own machine. Howdy, howdy. So I built my own machine. Or my team did. But a pretty interesting story. But our Chinese crested loves it too. I mean, it's amazing what you can find out there. And again, that's what I specialize in, trying to challenge my dog's instinct and engage them in activities that they want to do so I can purge their power and keep them in shape and keep them loving life. Keep good dogs. All dogs are good. We just have to find a way sometimes to access the goodness and let that goodness shine. You have to understand them. Another mile marker, folks. 3 miles now. So we're getting towards the end of this trail. We're probably somewhat, if I'm accurate, in the Annapolis vicinity. So if you're not from Maryland, you probably are familiar with Annapolis. Still, it's a relatively famous place. I think Washington, D.C., if my memory serves me correct. It's been a place where they filmed many of big screen movies. Annapolis Naval Academy is pretty famous. So it's a great area. I've gone there many a times. Now, I don't live near here, but I do as a crow flies. Roughly an hour and 15 minutes maybe. Just giving you a little geography on the WooFDriver there. You think it's another Pass on your left? Sure, no problem. Got dogs, that's why. I'm a little wider than most. So.
I love you saying it, though.
Thank you.
Some people don't. It drives me nuts.
Same problem we have. Have a great day, bud. Thank you. So it looked like our stream was getting a little low. I hope you're still with me, folks. Glove on. If I can. Come on, guys. Come on, Jack. Come on, Jack. Good boy. That guy was thanking us. Good boy, Jag. That guy was thanking us for. Oh, yeah. Now, if you saw how Chase started off, and Chase is sometimes a little bit of a wild one because he's sensitive and temperamental to certain situations. And once he gets a little discouraged, sometimes it sticks with him. So it's all about finding his sweet spot. Chase is the dog behind Jag. Jag is the dog behind Chase. But you see, when he hears the tire or the rub or something, he gets a little more cautious, if you will. He's a very cautious dog. So sometimes I'll have to encourage him with praise. Sometimes sit in the back seat with him. He's been doing this for most of his life, past 9 years or so, and he's just Jag. Sometimes what my master trainer always taught me, they'll surprise you every day, and never let it frustrate you. Just learn to work with their feelings and the way they take to different situations differently. You know, you can predict something based on past situations, but it doesn't always work out that way. So you can't take things for granted. And that's why I'm always training, essentially, and always praising them. 2.5 miles. Now, pretty soon we'll stop. We gave him some water about 2.5 miles ago. We'll give him some more because we're moving at a good clip, and we'll actually put the Princess down towards a mile. Okay? Good? Car coming, but he's going that way. Cool bridge we're coming on now, folks. Come on, T-Bagger. Boy, Jaggy. Now this is making noise, so this does sound rickety, but it's really cool. It's not rickety. It feels pretty sturdy. Look at that old wall. What is that? This. So Jag's a little apprehensive. There he goes. He's fine. So this is life in the WooFDriver lane. You'll get so many different situations, and that's why it's so cool to watch my movies, because I narrate some, and you can pick a lot up through the different situations of what we encounter and learn a lot from it, and see how the dogs cooperate, or how I get them through different areas, or just appreciate the beauty of the trail and the joy of the dogs. Good. Crossing another road, so love this trail. Is wide open. What's that? Beautiful, isn't it? So you'll always find some interesting situations and dynamics. And I'm all about dogs' interactions, how they interact with each other, how they interact with their surroundings, other animals, all the situations that arise, because I want to provide them the most comfort as possible and the best experience, because that's my motto, a happy dog. I love it. So my battery meter tells me we're running a little low on battery for the broadcast. So, and it did say there was some bad connectivity internet-wise. So if I lose you, I apologize. But I might try to come back on just so you know. Please, again, subscribe to WooFDriver Live. It's on Facebook, and you'll get all my live videos. Sometimes I broadcast, it's not syndicated like this one is, so you might not always get it. And you'll be sure to get it. I mean, some are behind the scenes, making a little noise. Okay. So we're really cognizant of different sounds from the bike because we can have breakdowns, and that happens occasionally. Got a great staff, of course, with my WooFDriver pit crew. Chris B is a master mechanic, master electrician, and he knows these bikes like the back of his hand, so he'll fix them. But sometimes that's challenging because we're putting a lot of strain on them. The dogs are pulling sometimes in different directions, so it's pulling on the frame. The motors have to compensate for 2 people, 4 dogs in some ways, even though the dogs, they're not pulling against it, but sometimes the weight of the dog. Certainly you got Princess riding in there. That's the weight of the dog. And then you have 5 gallons of water, which is another 40 pounds or so. So these bikes are rocking and rolling. And remember, these are not ATVs. We couldn't bring an ATV on the trail, obviously. So these bikes have to be built all with bicycle parts. So we're bike or trail worthy or trail legal, if you will. Ready to cross another roadway, folks. Glen Oben Lane, in case you're... Okay, I'm left, I'm clear. This is a... Good, this second one? So we're really getting down towards the end of this trail. It's just good sense of accomplishment. And again, we'll get Princess another half mile or so in. It's always good. Even if we don't, I'll put her down when we end and attach her to the bike, just so it's psychological, so it's like she finished. Goats in the field to the right. Oh, I see them. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera, but there's goats and sheep to the field on the right that we're passing by right now, and the dogs don't notice. Oh, they're cute. How cool is that? You can see Princess. Sometimes she'll go to sleep back there, but I actually like it when she sits up, because even sitting up, it's working her. She's excited enough to sit up and look at her surroundings. That's takes energy. You know, a dog sleeps, even a young dog sleeps a lot of its life. So I'm trying to keep them as active as possible. Again, they are huskies, and they need that activity level. The older the dog gets, the more I can get them to engage and be excited about doing activities, the better off they are, because the more mobility they'll keep and help balance some of that age-related arthritis and other ailments. If we do lose this feed, folks, I'll come back on another one and show you the end of the trip. Now, I might do that on the WooFDriver Live post where it won't be syndicated so much, so please try to make sure you subscribe there. I'll show you how we wrap it up and tend to the dogs at the end. We're crossing over another one of these wooden bridges, which are kind of cool, little rickety, but they're solidly built. But they're fun. Good on your side? This is Joyce Lane. In case you're watching, in case you're following us on Google. Dogs. Now we're really getting some open area. Looks like some farmland. Getting away from the urban setting. So more and more as we get towards Annapolis, I guess. I'm not looking at a map, so I'm not positive, but that's my understanding. If we do get cut off, folks, just let you know I am the WooFDriver, your host, and the big daddy of these 4 wonderful huskies you've been watching all day today. Happy to have you part of the broadcast. Happy you could be here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, want some advice, whatever, please just leave a message in any of the feed. These are all my channels on Facebook you're watching this on, or go on Google and search WooFDriver, W-O-O-F, driver, and I'll try to address it either directly by comment, contacting you back, or through another one of my live broadcasts. And it actually is nice because I can sometimes craft some of the broadcasts towards particular issues that people are asking, or questions, whatever. Everybody's moving at a good pace. We're 6.5 miles per hour right now, and we've been rolling at this pace for a pretty good distance. Another thing, when we're done, I'll check all the dogs' pads and nail lengths just to make sure. You can tell, especially with an older dog, Princess hasn't been down enough, but if you're worried you're running a dog and it's too much for them, sometimes you'll see blood because their nails will get fouled to the end of it and they'll hit the blood line, and it's not hurtful in the sense that it's going to do any real damage to them, but it'll tell you that you're working them too hard. What's that, Jimmy? At 1, yeah. So we've only got 1.25 miles left, so we're going to put Princess down soon. But I remember my veterinarian and I had an older husky named Czar, C-Z-A-R. Okay, dog in front of me with a leash, Jim's letting me know. And Czar, as he was getting older, we put him on a product called Rimadyl, which was a prescription. He's on a leash? Okay, which was a prescription arthritis medication. We were trying to find out the right balance. And I was still working him. He was 15 years old too, like I worked Princess. So just a light bike run like this, and letting him get some mobility for his joints. And we weren't sure of the proper dosage. We were playing around because Rimadyl is a product that can be a little hard on. What's that? Okay. Can work on there. I'll tell you what, let's give him some water. Let's give him some water, Jim. So we're actually going to let this person, they look like they're trying to get their dog out of our way. We can easily pass, as you've seen all day today, but that'll give me a chance. Let me put Princess down. So, by the way, I'm going to put her down. Let me see if I can give you a view of this. Hang on one sec, Jimmy. Stay, guys. So what I'll do is try to find which pocket the other phone's in that controls the other unit. Let me see. It's coming around, and so great. Now this gives you a chance to see how I put Princess. If you saw earlier how I put her up, and now I'm taking her down. Okay, my best girl. See, she's hooked in 3 points, and this keeps her safe when in the seat because she would try to jump out. A lot of dogs would. Riding back here, she wants to be with her fellas. Okay, good girl. Good girl. And then she's hooked right back up, and we'll move at a slower clip for her. See if we can get a little more miles for her. See if we can finish with her. If not, she'll get whatever she gets in. I'll get the unit spinning again, folks. The camera. Whoops. Hit that. Sorry. So, sorry if you didn't catch that. I just put her down to get her some little more activity. She's got roughly 3¼ miles in for the day. But see if she could do any more. So as I was saying, the battery's running low here. I don't have a backup battery. I usually do. I apologize. If I lose you, I'm going to do another broadcast before the end of the day. And you can tune in at WooFDriver Live on Facebook. There's a lot of different WooFDriver channels. Make sure it's the WooFDriver Live. You can see it, the logo. The dog or the wolf is actually wearing a helmet, if you will, for adventure. So, and if you subscribe there, you'll get a lot more of my live videos there because I don't syndicate them all like I do right now. Okay. Let's pull her in, Jim. This way. So we got people coming from all directions. You want to move over, you think? Trying to balance. It's a little busy out here today, as you see. This is much more of a kind of like a city trail or a town trail. Hey guys.
Hey there, how you all doing?
Yeah, good. How you doing? Hello, hello. Thanks, Jim. So a lot of traffic, and as I said, you've always got to be cognizant and considerate of everybody on the trail, especially because we're a little wide for the trail. Now, some of my other bikes, this is the widest one. We've been using this one recently, but I've got a really narrow bike, and if I know we're going on a narrow trail, again, the bikes, dog power go-karts, I call them a couple different names, then we'll use that. Let me see. I might be able to steal something here. I just had an idea. Okay. I'm going to try to keep this going by doing this. Excuse me for 1 sec. I might be able to do this, folks. Might be able to do this. Just got an idea, so I might not lose you. How cool would that be? I don't think this has much battery left either, but it says we're down to 1%. But if I lose you, I'm WooFDriver. You've been watching WooFDriver Live on one of my WooFDriver Facebook pages, and I appreciate you tuning in. But, a little thirsty, huh, Jim?
Yeah, Jackie is.
Was Chase and Zaro?
They both drank some, but not a lot.
We watered them pretty recently, yeah.
You know him, he won't drink it, he won't drink it, then all of a sudden.
And then all of a sudden I'll drink a ton, yep. This is how we do it. So you can see me looking kind of funny. I'm in my, can you see that? I wear this helmet because it lets me broadcast as well as film in 360. A lot of this stuff is custom made by me and my team. You won't see anything like it anywhere else. Well, hello, pretty princess. 1, 2, 3. Good deal.
Some more, buddy? Some more drink? Princess?
I'm just turning on these other cameras. Okay, Mr. Chaster. So Chase's paw, he had a little surgery, had a benign tumor removed. So it took us a little while to get it healed up, but because he's so active it's hard to keep him down, but he did really well. And if you watched him get groomed yesterday, he's doing well with it. Okay, guys, and that's where we're at, folks.
Come on, baby.
If I can remember which battery. I'm turning the bike back on. There we go. Okay, come on, guys. And we're back at it once again, folks. So the batteries lasted me, which is really cool. And you can see Princess is doing good. We're trying to get her last mile in. That was Princess and Zorro. And this is Chase. And Jag will be coming up. We got something on the trail, looks like a bike.
Boy, coming out.
Yep. That's Princess hop skipping along. I'm gonna let him go. You want to pull her in? Good girl. Just trying to make ourselves a little more narrow. Howdy, howdy.
Okay, buddy.
Good. Okay. Come on, guys, hike. And this has been a great day. Hope you got to pay extra special attention to how we do Princess, because senior dogs really need exercise, and sometimes it's harder to get them to exercise because you have to know how to appeal to their instinct and engage them so they want to do it. And there's a lot of different ways, and of course it varies from dog to dog. But look at her. She's in the back. She's doing fine. And she's doing her thing. Good girl, Pretty. Come on, Pretty. Oh, she's... Come on, Pretty.
She's doing it, oh, well.
Yeah, she's fine. Just got to go the speed she wants to go.
We got time, we ain't no hurry.
Oh, yeah. We're close to our home base here. Again, we travel all over the East Coast of the United States. And this is real close to our home front. That's Princess right there. And this is telling me the battery's about to expire. So I'm going to put you on. Ho, guys. On the other channel.
Coming at you.
Oh, someone's coming at me? Okay, let me move over. Okay, I'll wait to get up here. Come on, guys. Well, keep the battery going. Did they? Oh, they're not.
Go, 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 go. Go, buddy.
That's okay, Jimmy. Thought they were, and the battery's still going, so.
Hard spot here, Will.
Yeah, I see it, bud. Good boys.
I'm gonna try to look left for you. You look right.
Someone's coming right.
Okay. Whenever we get going, we're gonna get going quick.
Yeah, because that's a tough.
Yep.
This trail, by the way, is part of the National Rail Trail Network. Thank you. Come on, guys.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Come on, thank you. Good job, buddy.
So that person was waiting for us. Again, this trail is a lot of road crossings. The nice thing about it, there's not a lot of gates, so we don't have to constantly get on and off the bike. And some trails are pretty tight, the gates, where you got to get on and off and work the dogs through it, etc. So you see Princess is, well, she's coming around. Come on, Pretty. Good girl. And the dogs will rest well over the weekend, so if I can, I'll push her a little bit further just to get a little bit of extra exercise in, because She'll get pretty antsy over 2 days without any activity, especially her. She's just so amped up usually. Come on, pretty girl. That's why I try to get all the mileage she can handle. There you go. Come on, pretty girl. Princess. Good girl. Just me talking to her. Also getting her on the grass helps. Come on, good girl. Oh, she might be done. Yeah, she's done. So I don't know though. Come on, good girl. Let's do a bathroom break. Good girl. Good girl. Yep, marking it.
Good girl. Come on, baby.
Come on, guys. Yeah, because they smell the scent. They smell other animals and they want to lay their scent down. Come on, good girl. See that? Just doing something like that. And get her going. Come on, guys. Now she's meandering over. Okay, good girl. Yep, let me put her up. Yes, sir.
WooFDriver would do what we could do with it.
Yeah, she did good. She's done. Try to get everything I can in on her. Come on, good girl. Yeah, she did good. Again, this is how I put her up. I work her in the seat because she doesn't want to sit down. She's amped up to go. And just at her age and her personality, she's like, I don't want to sit down. I can't go any further, but I want to sit down. So she fights it like that. That's why it's cool to get her comfortable and safely hooked. And she knows she's secure. Good girl. That's how we do it. So now we'll be able to pick that pace back up and finish this trail. Thanks, buddy. Jim's telling me the brake's off. He holds the brake while I do that. That's why he's got a rear brake. Hike, come on, guys. So you'll be able to see her in the bed, in her seat. See Jackie's. He's bucking, fighting the system a little bit. That's okay as you pick up the pace. We'll move on. It's just because he hears the sounds. He might be. Yeah, he's running good now. And that's how we do it, folks. I can't believe the phone's still held out. Good boys and good girl. Good boy Chase. Good boy Zorro. Good boy Jag. Good girl Princess. Boys and good girls. It's been a great day out here. We're closing on the 11-mile marker. Princess wound up getting in about 3.4 miles, which is great. And everybody's happy. We'll be finished before dark, so pack up will be kind of easy. And hopefully, again, I can broadcast some of that too. See how when you're going at a pace, Jag's like, cool, if you're going to go slow, I'm not moving, but if you pick up the pace, I go. Yep, thank you. Yeah, that's why I'm going to let them go. Jason's doing a pit stop, so good place to stop. Good boy, Jack. He is too. Good boy. Have a great day, guys. Thank you. Okay, come on, guys.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
So before I go, I usually tell the guys, hike or come on. People, they always say, people don't know, say, mush, mush. But it's actually the command is hike that a sled dog operator will use, musher. See them. What kind of dogs do you think they are? Can't see them clearly to tell. Oh, they're are they Basset Hounds? No, they're bigger than that. Beautiful though. Yeah, that's what they were. Cocker Spaniel. Yeah. So somebody in front of us is a big white dog, might be a white husky, you never know, and maybe a German Shepherd too. But my guys are going to get real excited real quick when they notice this. Is he coming towards us, Jim? Can you tell? Can you tell anything? Is he?
Around the man, I think the man called him. He's right next to the man right now, so. Looks like he's walking away from us at a pretty good pace.
Okay.
He may not want to be around us. He's walking away from us now.
Looks like he's stopping, doesn't it? They smell him now. I don't think so. Stop. Has he got him on leash? Can you tell?
I can't tell, bro.
So right now I'm going to let the dogs. I'm letting the dogs pull because they're very excited. I'm actually putting some brake on. I'm trying not to catch up to that dog in case he does not have him on leash. I think he does, but you don't know, and you can't take any of this stuff for granted. Always better to be safe. Sorry. I'll let the dogs get some of their energy out by them pulling against my brake. I'll kind of pump the brake. Nope, I'm good. Can you see if he's on leash? And this is a great way for them to get some extra pulling, burn off a little extra energy, since they could go a lot further than the 11 miles we're going to do today. Yep. And that's Chase whining because he wants to get to the dog. And not in an aggressive posture, just in a exciting way. But I'm letting them pull all the weight. That's giving them work and letting them burn up that energy. Again, that's why they have the proper harnesses on, so if they want to pull, they can. And in certain predicaments like this, they can pull, which will be beneficial to them. Really glad the camera and all the equipment's held out. Yeah, we're total dog power here. It's great because we're going at a 4 mile per hour pace, 4.2, and they're providing all the power. And they're moving slow enough that it let the gentleman with the dog get out of range from us. Yeah, I think that's the end, but I'm not sure. Are you? Yeah, did you just put it on? Yeah. Stay. I like to keep them moving. Come on, guys. Yep, let's keep. Let them keep moving, and I'll control the brake. Because this will motivate them, like I was saying. Find what motivates your dog and